So picture this. Sometimes, have you ever just wanted to forget all your troubles, put the past behind you, and turn yourself into a cat?
No. So, am I the only person who actually thinks that? Well, fair enough then.
But what I am trying to say is that there is a video game where you can play as a cat, and that game is called Stray. Stray is a single player adventure game with a bit of puzzles over here and acting like a cat over there. I've been following this game ever since it was first announced because, really, it was something completely new and fresh. Most modern games are mostly the same genres again and again with first-person shooters and open worlds, but this one on the other hand just looked different in comparison. I have lost all faith in modern video games, and only a small handful of modern games have been listed as great, MIO, so is Stray among that category? Well, let's grab our catnip and adventure on in the world of Stray. Stray begins with a tutorial, as per usual with most games. You play as an orange cat and you bond with other surrounding cats near you, almost being like a family together.
And only just a few minutes into Stray, this already brings me to my first complaint I have about this game. Don't worry, there's only a few issues I have with Stray. Only a few.
A missed opportunity I found right from the get-go was I would have liked to have selected what type of cat you could play as, or even go as far to perhaps customize your very own cat. What breed and size, for example. It's only a small thing, but I reckon it could have made a huge difference because everyone is not the same and we all have our own personal favorite type of cats. And also, there's not much identity with your main cat. There's no name and also no gender. Is it a he, she, it's? I have no idea. I know it's a very minor negative reaction from me since your cat is a stray.
Good night, everybody!
So therefore, it doesn't have an identity, but these are just some of the questions I asked myself when I played this for the very first time. Maybe my expectations were a bit too high on this one. All four of you adventure on in a tutorial section until your cat jumps into a pipe which gives out, causing your cat to slip and fall down below to an underground abandoned city filled with human-like robotics. I should mention that yes, the cat can get hurt in this game, so viewer discretion is advised, so try your best to not get your cat hurt. And throughout your journey, you'll come across a tiny artificial intelligent companion known as B12, which sounds like a reject character of Bananas in Pajamas. B12 will accompany you, and while doing so, you also try to recover its memories. And so, the objective for the main game is simply going through the neon cities while trying to make your way back to the surface. The story is very simple, I'll admit, but sometimes for a small game like Stray, I'm okay with it. It starts off with who you'll be playing as, the conflict you'll be facing, and what objectives to do. With storytelling, that's all you really need. And speaking of Stray being a small game, this game is very short to complete. In no joke, this took me around 4 hours to finish the game, and that includes getting collectibles and interacting with strangers. But again, I am okay with this. Bear in mind, this is an indie title, so I will be going a bit easy on Stray since it's not a AAA video game. But that does not mean I'll be praising this game left, right, and center. As always, if I notice something off, then I have no problem calling out on it. The graphics here look really nice, especially when you wander around the different settings the game offers. It could be colourful, bright, but also in some places dark and mysterious. You can explore the city and the sewers and many more. It does seem pretty intimidating at first being a cat and checking out the areas, almost feeling like a small fish in a big ocean, but in overtime, you'll be overcoming each obstacle and reaching to the top of the mountain. Come on, just a little bit closer. Take it easy. God damn it. The gameplay for Stray is exactly what you expect it to be. Since you play as a cat, you can act like a cat. Throughout the game, you can jump, scratch carpets, drink water, press yourself against a stranger. Wait, that sounds wrong out of context.
You can even do the nudgy thingy that cat pushes an object and watch it smash over to the floor. You know, the part where cats act like complete shitheads.
The developers definitely took the time to study cats, and I'd say they were pretty successful. They got pretty much everything right, from the way how they walk, how they play, and how they hiss. And also throughout the game, you can meow. Well, that's pretty fucking obvious. There's literally a button on the controller with its sole purpose is to meow at anything. This to me is an absolute blessing. Meowing at everything you see from people, and even cameras reacting to the cat's meow, is so cute. You can even meow during cutscenes, which is cool, but I do feel like it does take me away from the storytelling the developers are trying to tell, because the only thing I can think about during cutscenes is how many times I can spam the meow button until it gets annoying. Now come on, you can do it. Just get it in the bucket. Oh, for fuck's sake. Stray does offer some platforming here and there, leaping onto buildings, pipes, and pallets to name a few. The jumping itself can be a bit strange, as in order to jump to the next platform, your cat has to look directly at the platform itself, and then you can jump. Not a terrible thing, but I did remember being stuck in some places cause I had to wait for the prompt to appear at first. And when it comes to exploring places, you'll come across robot strangers, and if you help them out, they can help you get one step closer to the surface. Unfortunately, I wish the robots had more personality to make me care about them, and they're not compelling enough for me to get invested in. Each robot has their 15 minutes of fame, and each robot looked different with what they wore, but they weren't interesting to me at all. And plus, I kinda wish they had some voice acting here instead of sounding like kazoos. As far as the soundtrack is concerned, it sounds very enjoyable to listen. There's tense moments where the music picks up, and there's quiet moments where the music will be relaxing. The OST is really good overall. And as for the collectibles, the only main collectible you need to look out for are B12's memories. By locating them, it'll trigger a monologue from B12 talking about its past. I do like it when I collect them because we get to see character progression with B12 itself. And there's other collectibles, but they are optional, like badges, music sheets, energy drinks, nuzzles, and scratch points.
Okay, no more messing around. Third time's a charm, I can do this. Just put the ball in the bucket. You got this, mate, come on. So, has anyone saw that one episode from NXT where Tommaso Ciampa ends his promo and he just out of nowhere flips his chair? Well, yeah. I feel like doing that right now. This is fucking bullshit!
And I suppose the last thing to talk about is my journey towards getting a platinum. I have explained it earlier, but here's a short recap. It's honestly really easy getting a platinum. It requires me to do 2 playthroughs. The first being grabbing collectibles and getting missable trophies, and the second playthrough being the speedrun challenge, to try and beat the game in less than 2 hours. I actually managed to beat the game in 1 hour and 32 minutes, so Stray can be pretty forgiving if you make a mistake, so try not to stress too much if you get stuck on the objective. The only tough trophy I had trouble with is Can't Catch Me, which you have to run from A to B without getting touched. There were so many retries, but I did end up getting the trophy on that part. And that was Stray. Sure, it doesn't involve some first-person shooting, sure it's not a AAA video game, and sure it doesn't have any replay value, but goddamn, after playing it for 6 to 8 hours, for what it was worth, it was the best 6 to 8 hours of playing through a video game in 2022 so far. Stray has a lot of charm, a lot of personality, and delivers a good experience overall. And for a game that costs $30 to $40 here in Australia, I'd say it's money worth spending. Graphics look nice, music is good to listen to, and being able to experience things as a cat is so enjoyable. And with indie titles, it just goes to show that sometimes even the most smallest of things can turn out to make a huge impact.
So with that said, I'll be giving Stray a score of 7 out of 10. It's a really good video game and one that I highly recommend playing, even if you are a cat lover or not. But anyway, that's going to wrap up this review. I thank you all so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to leave a like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all next time.